Hello guys, so in this video we are going to see how to do authentication in Remix apps by using Supabase. And for that we are going to reference this article by Carlo Catapan. It's a good article and shows how to do authentication in Remix apps. So it's a detailed article and let's see what is in there. So he has got a live demo as well, a link to the source code, and has also got step-by-step commits if you want to follow. So the first thing is we have to set up a Supabase client. Now he is creating a table, words. Okay, this table has ID, name, definition, sentences, type, user ID. This user ID references auth.users table, and next thing is he is creating a row level security policy for the words table. And what he is doing here is if somebody has anon role or is authenticated, they can see those rows from words. And in order to insert into into words table, one must be authenticated as per this rule. If somebody wants to update a row, his ID must be same as the user ID, means users can only update their own words. Similarly here for delete, users can only delete their own words, not others' word. That was setting up the Supabase table and rows policies. Now next thing, we are going to create the Supabase client in our Remix app. Okay, he's importing create client, setting up Supabase URL key, and creating a Supabase client using create client method from Supabase. Okay, now he is creating a cookie session storage in order to store the sessions or access token that will come from the Supabase after we log in. So create cookie session storage comes from Remix, and he is passing name of the cookie, expires HTTP only, max is 60 seconds, pass, and he's setting up lots of values for that cookie. Now we get session, commit session, and destroy session. Get session is to get the cookie, commit session is to write the cookie, and destroy session is used to delete the cookie. Okay, so in order to log out, we can use this destroy session function, and if we are logging in, we can commit session. And if you want to get the session of the user, we can use get session method. Now if we are requesting any data from the Supabase, then we have to pass the access token. For that, he is creating this function set auth token, in which he gets the session, and from the session he extract the access token and passes that access token to Supabase. Okay, that's all. So this is for passing access token into the headers for communicating with Supabase. Now next thing is setting up authentication in Remix side. Okay, so in the client side of Remix, create client side utilities for managing Supabase session, create Supabase provider and a custom hook which returns the Supabase instance. So he's creating a context, so Supabase context, and passing that context into the provider. We have created Supabase provider, by using use context hook we are creating a custom hook use of Supabase. This will return also Supabase client. Okay, now this Supabase provider accepts a Supabase client that we have created instance in the server side of Remix. Let's see, this is our root component. Okay, have created Supabase client, use the Supabase provider and pass the client to this Supabase provider. This provider wraps our whole app. Okay, so we have wrapped whole app with our provider. Now let's see, so create the /auth route. Okay, can use the UI provided by Supabase auth in order to make a UI. So create the main auth component. Is creating auth component, auth from the Supabase auth that user context provides Supabase client. We provide the Supabase client into the auth provider, and this is an auth basic component. Okay, create the component to inform the server that we have Supabase session. This is our now. If we have the session, we don't have to log in again. So this thing is for that. If user is already logged in, no need to do anything. If he is not logged in, we have to log in. Yeah, so if user on that another access token, we are getting the access token from the session. If there is, you can choose auto connection model long checks if the user is signed in. So if there is access token, okay, so we are submitting a form that will tell Supabase that we are logged in. Okay, so the auth route is used to tell Supabase that we are logged in. Okay, now after we log in from here, after we submit this, we have Supabase will provide us a token, and we have to manage that token, and have to commit that token. So we have this auto.tsx page, and here we have to write a action where this form will get submitted /auth. Okay, so from there we get the token. Okay, we are getting the session, and we are setting up this access token, and we set the token. Okay, from the form field access token, we get token. From there we set that into the access token, and after it is set, we redirect towards page or towards route, and then we commit the session to the cookie. Okay, now next thing is, that was how to log in. Next thing we have to see is how to log out or sign out. So we have a sign out button, and handle sign out method. This will be called, after that is called, we are going to submit a form with nothing inside the form. Method will be post and action will be sign out. Next thing, we have to create the action function for that sign out route, and we get the session, and after we get the session, we have to destroy the session and redirect user to auth route in order to sign in again. Okay, now we have to see this one. Just set the token to any path you want to have access to. I want tried making global handle for this, but I prefer to be explicit about setting this up. Set auth token. So if we are requesting anything from Supabase, we have to set the auth token, and then we can do query. Okay, now this use Supabase, the hook that we created in the beginning. Using that hook, we can find whether a user is logged in or not. Okay, Supabase auth.user. Let's go and see this hook. Use Supabase. Use Supabase. Where is it? Okay, it's here. Use Supabase. We are passing this Supabase context, and create context receives a Supabase client. It's okay, it is returning this Supabase context. That is Supabase context means Supabase client. That Supabase client will have auth.user. We can check whether a user is logged in or not. Okay, since using CRUD operations, so what we're going to do, we are going to query. Okay, after we have query, we are returning words. This word we can access only our component using its global data. And Supabase from your Supabase. Now if user is logged in, we show this create new word. If user is not logged in, sign to make changes. Okay, we retrieve one, delete one operation. Okay, this is this is action function. Let's see the component. It's here. This is the delete button. User must be logged in to see this delete button and edit button as well. And these actions are okay. This post or delete, this delete will run this action. We are setting the access token in the headers and querying the Supabase in order to delete that word. Okay, now the edit function, this edit button will get submitted to /word/edit/word ID. Okay, and for that I think we have to create a route and create our action function in that route. Okay, this create operation words add, that was edit. Okay, so in routes words add we are going to add new word. This is a new word. Okay, update operation. Okay, this is the for edit operation. We will have action function over here. Okay, access token updating and redirecting to the words after it is edited. Over here we are adding words. Okay, redirecting words. If there is an error, we are adding to the created word. If it is created, and showing the word form. Okay, this was a good article. I think we have some idea about how to do authentication using Supabase in our Remix app. However, this context thing was little confusing. We have made a context and yes, Supabase will so this use Supabase will provide us the instance of the Supabase client. Okay, from there we can check if user is logged in or not. Okay, and over here our app will be wrapped with this provider, with Supabase provider, so that we can use this Supabase hook in our app throughout so we can use this Supabase hook throughout our app. Okay, this looks nice. Let's see, we'll try to implement this on our own. Okay, that was for it today.